Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, then you can go to their Patreon, where it's $3 a month for this and other games. So, on the last Let's Play, we came to James Hendrix's house/mansion. And these two guys were talking about, details maybe. We kind of left with his wife to go have ice cream and also get our fortune told. She also told us that she knows about Hendrix and I, and that, it keeps him in line in a way. Kind of, she's fine with it, more or less. And also, was there something else? Oh, it was pretty much that. Like, I'm kind of wondering and wanting to test whether or not that tarot card reading changes depending on what we pick, Because we got High Priestess right side up, the Devil upside down, and the Tower right side up. The Tower being like, ooh, it could be calamitous. I mean, this is Echo. Calamity's gonna happen. And soon. If it's that 100-year mark kind of thing. Right now, sorry, my mind's just going like, but then how that person's like, oh, right, now that's why that person, in Echo. So, is there anything else? I'm just gonna double check that thing. Yep, that's it. Ice Queen. In the desert, no less. Reset face. And continue. You walk straight through the doorway and end up in the dining room again, which, upon reflection, shouldn't be that much of a surprise. Nick and James are sitting in silence. Doesn't seem like they're doing much talking. James, dear, is there anything in the basement I should regard before I go down there? I want to show Mr. Ayers how I make the ice cream. Not at all. In fact, why don't you take Mr. Kroll down with you? His brute strength is suited for dark places. I'm flattered. He stands up and walks over to me and puts an arm around my shoulder. We've been very deep together. Oh, well? James starts laughing, but it's not the kind of laugh he makes when he's amused. Mr. Hendrix doesn't seem to notice, Mrs. Hendrix doesn't seem to notice, and claps her hands. I think it's like Nick being like, yeah, I've done that with him. He's mine. Well, aren't you three as thick as thieves by now? Let's all get to the cellar. As you turn around the corner, I see James drop his fork. It's completely bent out of shape. Miss Hendrix takes us back through the main entrance to the room with the couches, and through the other hallway. I'm kind of wondering if Mr. Hendrix is, maybe paved off because of like talks with the with regards to the strike, or if it's more because he thinks that we're only his and new. We go through the doorway that opens to a dark cellar staircase. She leads us down the stairs, her hooves clicking delicately as she descends. Please don't pay the cellar much mind. We're still renovating. She says that as if she's legitimately used to strangers judging her cellar. Though, again, here's the thing. If you remember in Murdoch's route, there was two girls in the caves, and I'm not sure, I guess it could have been not here, but in the work area. But it could have been here, because there's a hole somewhere. And, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but at the end of Murdoch's route, and you might want to skip ahead, like maybe 30 seconds, during the wedding, the house burns down. I think it's the house? Yeah, or is on fire. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. She says that, as if she's legitimately used to it. Yeah, cellar. I lower my voice so that only Nick can hear it. Ain't cellars just for storing old newspapers or boxes you don't need? I thought they were mostly for making spirits. Booze. I know, I would feel like being in a cellar would be kind of nice, especially in the desert. You know, all that cool air settling down. She takes us through the counterclockwise path past the bench, which wet with weights. A subdivision with a pool table, another section that looks like it has enough shelf goods to get the entirety of Echo through the winter. Ooh, big cellar. We keep walking until we get to a section that looks like it's below the stairs where it came from, and beside it is the thinnest looking door I've ever seen. Now, where's that supposed to go? That leads to crawl space below the house. Like, below the house or below the cellar? Why is the entrance so small? I hear most people used to be a lot smaller 50 years ago than they are now, but that's just ridiculous. I think they didn't want the swing to take up too much space. Swing? I don't know. We haven't bothered to replace it yet, because we aren't down here enough to be fussed with it. She opens the door and squeezes through, protecting her head with her hand. I walk through next, and so does Nick. Ooh, spooky. I wonder, is this the same place that... No. I was kind of wondering if this is where, Oh, it's been a hot minute since I played that game. You know, the Ram from Echo. I mean, he's the great-great-great's-grandson, and maybe not so many greats, but like, you know, related. And they're also wealthy in that one, too. So, and big house with the cellar. The crawl space is big enough to stand in, but only if all of us crouch. It's very dark and hard to see anything here. Why would you put the ice cream machine here? But at the opposite end of the room, a speck of light shines on a metallic handle on a door to a room that looks like a bunker. Why did you put your ice in a room this far out of the way? Well, it's the coldest location on our property, which really makes a difference for the ease of storage. Yeah, fair enough. It's hard to keep a steady supply of ice in the middle of the desert, you know? I guess there would be two ways to do it. One would be like to get it from like places that actually have ice. Though I think back in these days, especially since they have electricity, there might actually be ice machines, and then they would deliver ice, like in the old Three Stooges thing or something. I don't know. I'm not that old. She opens the door, and I feel the rush of cold wind that would be refreshing if in any other location. Here, it's just chilled me to the bone. I don't want to be here long, or else too much cold air gets out. Shouldn't be much longer. Let me get some of the older ice at the back of the room and use that first. Huh? We hear her shuffle through boxes, and while tossing one of them out of the room. Don't know why something like that wasn't here. What is it? It felt rather light, so I'm not very sure. It sounds like it might be filled with paper. Certainly not the right place for something like that. Miss Hendricks starts humming to herself as she goes through her boxes, perhaps getting a bit carried away with how she's organizing them. Because she isn't paying attention to me or Nick at all right now. Nick drags the box Miss Hendricks discarded to a corner of the crawl space where a beam of light was shining down. Why? Why what? I understand why he's confused now. What Miss Hendricks threw was a box of pictures. Pictures of people who work at the CGCS. He's holding one of them up with his hand. I glimpse at it and see him, a big cat with stripes, who's probably Yao, and somebody else who I can't quite make out. He holds it away from me. Hey, let me see. I don't think that you should. I don't care if it's unflattering angle view. I just want to see. He sighs and tilts the picture. There's another old scruffy man in the picture. Oh, is it, Jack? Ah. He puts his big arm on my shoulder. How do you feel? Considering. Now? Just angry. He grunts in agreement. If he were still alive, I just want to stomp on his tail while he dragged it along the floor. He looks like he's worried about me again. Maybe he hurt you a lot worse than I thought. How? I feel like that's like the least worst thing you could do to somebody who, you know, is Jack. Huh? Now what's that supposed to mean? It was strange how you said that. In fact, Help! There's a sudden crash, and we hear boxes tumbling around in the ice house. Nikolai, Chapter 3. Though, this is interesting. Because, let me just save this... Well... Because let me just save that right there. So that we can go to, was it extras? Because there's 2 routes right here. Like in this one. All of them are the same. All of them are the same. All of them are the same. But this one has 2 different boxes. Which, to me, I thought this was some kind of thing like, hey, you, like, this is the evidence and this is not the evidence. I mean, I know that there's what happens if you make 2 decisions, but I'm not sure what this means right here. I'm gonna have to ask. Hopefully not too sus. Anyways. Maybe not sus, but not too spoilery. Unless it's like, this is the bad decision. Oh no. Miss Hendricks screams a very high, very girly scream. I said help! Please, somebody help me! Are you alright? What happened? It's terrible. It was completely frozen, and it shouldn't have been in there. What's completely frozen? What shouldn't have been in there? A bug. A bug? They keep these ice blocks sealed tight for restaurant quality. Somebody's been careless with the packing. No good. This is no good at all. Ah. She stands in front of me and the box, hiding them from view in the low light of the basement. Is there something we can help you with? No, no, no. Well, it's nothing for you to be concerned about, I think. We could easily get sick if the icebox isn't left in the corner. Is it broken? Well, it doesn't appear to be. You could take a look, couldn't you? He turns to me and watches as I move the box of photographs behind the column out of sight. Then he turns back to the sheep. It shouldn't be too complicated. He pokes his big head inside, wide shoulders disappearing. He then re-emerges, tilting his head to the side as he scratches the back of his head. Door doesn't squeak. No visible cracks either. It locks very well. Well, that's something of relief. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Kroll. I just have to recheck the entire inventory with my cook after all this. And I must simply have a stern conversation with my husband about who he lets muck around down here. I loathe to say it, gentlemen, but I don't know which products are safe to use at the moment. No ice cream to be made today, I'm afraid. That's alright. But you sound so disappointed. That is just how he always sounds. I give him a look. He elbows me gently. Maybe next time then? Neither of us respond. Mostly because we figure there won't be a next time. We've been in this dusty cellar for far too long. It's been 10 minutes. This is nothing. Now, there's no need to be modest. I can see how you've shuffled so. There's some truth to what she's saying. Nick has been more stiff than usual, and not in the usual way, ooh. Something's bothering him about this place. People weren't made to be in places like this. I get spooked myself in a basement as dark as this. Let's go greet the sunlight, shall we? It takes us a while to go through the hallways, moving counterclockwise, to the way we came, to get to the stairs to the kitchen. We hear dull chopping noises as we ascend and see the cook preparing something green and savory smelling. As Nick and I pass the cook, Miss Hendricks taps on her shoulder. Hattie. She turns her head slowly. Miss Hendricks? I'm afraid there's dreadful news. She looks lost in her chopping board, concentrating on the slices. How dreadful are we talking? Somebody messed with the icebox and left the door ajar. She looks absolutely shocked there for some reason. The perishables in the cellar have been contaminated. The chopping stops. She looks a little scared. You don't think it's my fault, do you? No, not a whit. A wave of relief spreads across the wolf's face. Though I guess it's like, even if it wasn't her fault, somebody could blame her and she could lose her job. You know how it is. We have to go through everything to make sure it's safe to consume. That shouldn't be too bad. Maybe my son can help too. But what is bad is the timing. The solstice is less than a week away. I can't suffer a mediocre cake on the biggest night of the summer. I wonder if... I'm not gonna say... Like, simple doesn't seem like the right word, but seemed to be, like, single-minded, maybe? Like, she's focusing on little things. Though, I guess, you know, in me and of myself, I do focus on little things too, being like, oh no, this tiny thing happened, I'm sad, but then it's like, oh, yeah. And then big things happen, it's like, fuck, this is bad. Reset in face. What would the Historical Society think? James knew this was important to me. There, Miss Hendricks. I'll have a warm pie in the oven that'll last through the afternoon and into the evening. I've already scouted out to the local farms and markets. I'll make sure we have everything we need within the next 2 days, tops. I appreciate that, but I'm just upset over giving you more work than you have to do. It's not a problem at all, Miss Hendricks. I'm just grateful that to have a job in a house this nice. She blushes a bit. Well, it's not that nice. There's a lot of work to be done, you know? That husband of mine is going to get an earful. She pokes her head around the corner. Then she looks back to the cook. Speaking of which, where is he? The cook's lips tighten. The master of the house said he has errands to run. He left the house less than 5 minutes ago. The nerve. He knew we had guests. True, ma'am. I reminded him, but he dare not keep him. I see. She turns to us. Gentlemen, I'm truly sorry I could not manage to be a proper hostess. It appears that we're going to be quite busy in the coming hours. Would it be terrible of me to ask you to come back at a different time? Oh, no, not at all. She lets out a long breath. Thank you so much. I hope that we can meet again under better circumstances. Of course. She leads us to the door and opens it. The hot air of the desert covers us like a scratchy blanket. Before we go, yes? The Historical Society you mentioned. Would they happen to know anything about the stuff we talked about? In the parlor? Well, yes. Though some of them are very prideful of the legacy they have built here, and would take great offense at the notion of otherworldly powers at work. Happen to know who might be comfy about talking about such things? Well, I'd consider some members experts in that matter, but they like to keep a low profile. Oh, would that be... I'm kind of thinking could be the lizard guy. Do you happen to know either Holly or Delilah Briars? Oh, I know them, but in a different time and space. Oh, that must be the photographer's family. Do they have a brother? Oh, yes. He rarely attended society gatherings, but I'm told he has some interest in the supernatural as well. Their mother, on the other hand, has no patience for such notions. You'd have to catch them alone if you want to get anywhere, and they're rarely alone. At least at gatherings. I see. Anybody else? Well, There's Dr. Brisbane, Sybil Jennings. Jennings sounds familiar, but Sybil doesn't. Dr. Brisbane, is that the elk guy? Those names don't ring a bell. Right. They can be a bit reclusive. I have to wonder. You don't have to work with any of the... No, you don't work with any of the Moors, perchance? Moors. Is that the lizard people? I tilt my head. I do, actually. If you don't mind me saying so, I presumed as much. They're a big family, and they have people in all sorts of places. Some of them can be plenty influential in occultist circles. That gives me some ideas. Thanks. I nod, and Nick bows deeply as we leave. Miss Hendricks waves, catching us from the porch, as the armed men at the gate press a button which opens the gate for us without the need of any people. I mean, I guess they have electricity. I didn't think there was, like, push buttons. I hope this visit was helpful. I rub the back of my neck as we keep walking. Certainly something. There's more people who believe in spook stuff than I thought. What? Do you know for sure that it is many people? Or is it mostly coming from people who have too much free time and money? We saw something down there, Nick. We did. But do the people who say they believe in these things see anything for themselves? I have my doubts. Okay then. How else do you want to approach going back down there for gold? Ulting back on in and trying again? I think we should talk with Yao about it. He won't even talk to me about what he saw. Probably because he doesn't know what he saw. We saw. Did any of us? You know. I hear a voice. That horrible voice. We should probably be like, hey Nick, I'm getting a phone call from someplace. Sam? Yeah? You stopped walking. Did I? Your hair is standing on end. Oh, really? Is it? Your demeanor has changed. Is it your head? No. Do you need water? I drank plenty during breakfast. You need water. He pulls a canteen off his belt. Nick, drink. He puts it in my hand and stares me down. I glower as I bring it to my lips and sip. It's too warm to be refreshing, but the instincts of thirst kick in. I need more than a few gulps. He gives me a heady pat on the shoulder with a huge paw, then takes the canteen back, screwing the cap on. Hey Nick? What? I'm only gonna tell you this. Well, because you're my best friend. And, husbando? I see him start to grin at that when he hears that, but he puts on more of a serious face as quick as I can. Yeah. What is it you need to say? You ever heard voices in your head? Voices? He looks alarmed again. What kind of voices? Mean ones. Ones that don't seem like my own, I mean. Because here's a spoiler alert, and it's that I learned in Jenna's route of Echo. Like, I'll put this, I'll have my mouse cursor on the screen, and when I take it off as well, I'll stop talking about spoilers. So, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. So, in Echo, the main character hears voices, and apparently those voices are Sam, which is weird. Can take this off. Give people time to unmute it. Hyena, welcome back. So then it's like, okay, where are these voices coming from? There's plenty of voices in my head too. There are? Yes, Sam. My own. Then we're not talking about the same thing. Of course we aren't. You do not hear anything until after the accident, yes? Yeah. You're still sick then. Is that what you think? That is what I think. So, what if you're wrong? Then, I won't be embarrassed. I'm no doctor. Do you think I'll be sick forever? He slows down his walk, speed, and looks at me. No. Of course not. Oops, sorry, really God. How do you know? There isn't a doctor close by to tell me I'm wrong. So, I picked the answer I liked. I don't think that's how health works, Nick. Oh. Is it not? Because I could swear that you continue to ask me medical questions. He smiles. But I can't tell if that he's worried. Can't or can? Can tell. I changed the subject. So, where should we go now? Work. I thought there was a strike today. There will be picket signs and protests. We should show our faces there. Won't that get you into more trouble? I'm already in trouble with the bosses. I'd rather not be in trouble with my coworkers if I didn't support them. It's also where I expect to find Yao. We can't proceed with anything until we talk to him again. I sigh. Alright. We aren't far from the mines anyway. I think with that and us, you know, having that little walk, that's a good time to call it. Ooh woof. So, please comment, guys, like, comments, if you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and likes it grow, then please like, subscribe, and share the rest of it. And please remember to buy new your ammo to help control the pit population. And if you're interested in playing this game, it's available free on itch.io, but if you want to support the people that make... Yeah. If you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, you can go to Patreon, which is $5 a month, $3 a month, sorry, for this and other games. And until next time, another Let's Play by me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. So thanks and see ya.